Look who's back to do the list. LT is quickly putting a list together, and the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference is back.
How was Feinbaum?
It's good. We talked about some of the bigger policy issues, and I spent a lot of time on mental health. They had a nice feature on what Ole Miss has done to prepare their coaches for dealing with mental health issues. It is the most identified issue on an agenda from student athletes for conversation.
It's so important.
Yeah.
I had a meltdown at the national championship in Indianapolis, and it was so bad I had to call these guys to come literally settle me down to get my bearing straight. And when I got home, I went and got help, and I'm on meds now.
Part of it is the ability to have the conversation. I actually spoke probably in 2018 intentionally at media days about the issues around mental health, and I was really, I don't know what I expected, but surprised by the amount of feedback and input that was like, thank you for saying something and making it okay to ask for help or call for help. We talk about the issues at almost every meeting of our athletics directors, and certainly at every meeting of our student athletes, and our chief medical advisor, Dr. Katie O'Neill, who's an infectious disease specialist, but a wonderful overall doctor, has spent an enormous amount of time in her first year trying to connect what we're doing in different ways, particularly around mental health. I've talked to agents about mental health support for our coaches, and I've spent time on campus because of the high stress and high pressure that they're under. And, we've kind of joked about the issue, but sports gambling does create a new component of pressure for participants that I don't think we've yet coped with. And I mentioned that in Monday's remarks as well.
Yeah. I mean, I two college age kids, both of them have college age kids, but it's not just them. And I'm glad you brought up the coaches, because as adults too, that mental health thing is a real deal. And I can't imagine, and we've seen it with different coaches, even in our league, that have struggled with it.
Yeah. And, I know probably more than a little bit about the support structures on our campus. One of the challenges we've discussed is having relatable hires, individuals in those mental health positions with a similar background and experiences. That's enormously hard. I think I saw a stat like 87% of the mental health counselors in the country are white. So how do you develop diversity in that?
You can't get in front of anybody right now. There's such a lack of support out there.
It's like a 3-month lag. Right?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
So ours is ours. So for all the criticism, they
that's
don't do
huge.
this, they don't do this. Our student athletes have concierge services. And the feature that was just shown on the network from Ole Miss is, immediate services. And Lane told a story about a tweet that caused concern, and within moments, 15 people are reaching out to that individual. So one of the check the box in a really good way +1s for college athletics is being ahead of the mental health needs, but working to stay ahead of the mental health needs to provide support is really a significant challenge.
I think major corporations should do it.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to get all serious, but it's good stuff. Very, very important.
Very.
From that to, laughter is a great mental release. LT's got a list for you. I don't know if you'll make us laugh or not. I don't want to.
The foundation of the show is awkward transitions. So
usually,
did you consider that before next round?
Usually separated by a sponsor, but I'm going to throw a sponsor in here because I didn't give Lance a warning.
Perrier,
sponsored earlier.
You need a new bottle?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I've been nursing it.
All right, here we go.
Okay. The Godfather or Goodfellas?
Goodfellas.
You grew up in New York. Are those I don't think up in Buffalo you had a whole lot of gangster guys.
It was not Buffalo, but that's I was outside Syracuse. I was
outside of Syracuse,
in the middle of a dairy farm.
Yeah, so not a whole lot of
a whole lot of mafia action.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you watch Sopranos?
Not really, not with any intent. No.
Okay.
I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I don't really recommend for various reasons.
Oh, it's so good.
It's a Spite Store.
The crazy thing
Delta
is,
has season 10. The whole Spite Store thing is just comical to me.
It is, and how they tie everything together, and most of it's improv with just a basis for a script. They're big Seinfeld guys. I didn't like Seinfeld, but I told them if they like Seinfeld, they'd love this, right?
Yeah, because they have these cameos. there was an episode where Larry's bothered by the star of the theatrical performance that he's produced is wearing the same pants 2 days in a row. I went in the office, I'm like, how many of you wear the same pair of pants 2 days in a row? I'll do it with Blue Delta because I bought into the whole natural fiber thing, but I'm like, I like, that's like, I do not wear the same pair of pants
It's so
ever.
funny though. Like I don't like putting garbage in my bathroom garbage can. I think it looks tacky. And Larry, same thing. I really do. Like if I go to the bathroom, I don't like Q-tips and floss and that kind of stuff.
I never thought about that. But today when I went to the bathroom, I had thrown something in there last night. And I was like,
there's
this
an
doesn't look right.
episode on shirking one of his staff, like, oh no, they're great, they'll help you really good. And it was passing down like Matt Damon had done it to Larry David.
And I guarantee this has happened to you before. The fire alarm that beeps and you can't find it in the house.
It's awful.
And Larry pulls it out, and then the house burns down.
I haven't had the house burned down, but I have had, you pull it out, then you lay there like, well, if something happens, it doesn't have a battery. Then you get back up and you wasted 2 hours of sleep.
Okay, more enjoyable, great movie or good book?
Why didn't you go great book? Because you know he likes to read.
I know he's going to go great
Yeah,
book.
good book. Really good book. I haven't been to a movie theater since like 2018. I need to go because I enjoy movies, but I like the mental aspect.
Sound of Freedom. You need to go see it. It's good.
Is it?
Yeah, real good.
What else is out now?
Barbie.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, has anybody seen that?
Lunsford sees them all. He sees them before they come out.
Oppenheimer.
Do you like
You seen it?
Oppenheimer? Oh,
The
yeah.
Mission
that's it.
Impossible one? Is that
Yeah,
Mission
it was out
Impossible?
last week.
You know, that you want to suspend reality for a while? For a
Yeah,
couple
that's
hours?
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Last fast food drive-through you went through.
Whataburger.
Oh, interesting.
280.
Texas.
No,
I mean, hell, they're joining the league.
I mean, I don't think.
I want to be genuine in this response.
Have you ever
Has
gone?
it been a long time?
Yeah.
Have you ever gone through
I remember.
Have you ever gone through
I
the?
take it back. Whataburger was an airport. It was Chick-fil-A.
Have you ever gone through the drive-through of Cookout?
Oh yeah,
It is
big fan.
It is the most anxiety-inducing moment of my life, though. That
Wait,
menu,
you eat Cookout?
Especially when there's 2 lanes.
Like,
oh
that,
man.
that menu is so confusing.
Oh, but
I
then
cannot
there's
figure
one
it out.
like south of Greenville, South Carolina, where you have to pull around
Yeah.
to pay, and you're like, what are you going to find around that corner?
I mean, a case of, yeah,
But the food is outstanding.
I love Cookout, but
Big fan of Cookout.
Forrester pointed
Are we
out.
getting this segment sponsored
No.
by Perrier and Cookout?
You can get a
How-
bag.
You know how we
full
work
for
now.
10
It's like
bucks.
Talladega Nights, Perrier and Cookout. All,
I know that's our show.
Okay. Have you ever rode in the back of a pickup truck?
Absolutely.
Last time.
Oh, if I was my teenage years.
Yeah.
We had pickups my entire youth, and then I owned a Ford Ranger pickup, which really wasn't a pickup.
The reason I asked this is we had like 6 going to dinner last night, and we were riding in a truck, and he was like, "It's legal to ride in the back of the truck if you guys want to jump in the back." You remember that?
I do
I'll
remember
give
that.
you. I'll
We'll
give you a
pass.
shocking example of the contrast of growing up in New York State. My parents' red Ford 150 1978 version with one of those camper tops on the back. You know those.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
My brother and I, the whole way down from Skaneateles, New York, to New York City, driving around in New York City. We're in the back of the pickup.
Yeah.
truck. It's like the Beverly Hills.
I always knew.
I was in high school.
I always knew you were one of us.
Middle of New York City. I have ridden in the back of a pickup truck.
Southerner at heart.
Yep.
So you're a big traveler.
Where I'm from in New York, it's a lot closer to Mississippi than anybody in New York cares to admit.
You're a big traveler. Best city, it can be in the States or out of the country you've ever visited.
Ask me that again because I was wondering if I should have said what I just said. But
Yeah,
go
best
do that.
I thought it was a
It
compliment.
was. I
honestly.
took it as a
Yeah.
compliment.
best city you've ever visited.
Wow. Or in Nashville, so you could play that way. Love Dublin. I love going to
Yeah.
Dublin, Ireland.
Did you go to
Killarney.
Edinburgh in Scotland?
I know we were going to, and then we bought a lake place. We are going to go the next year. I love the London trip too, though. Dublin would be just a fascinating place. Been to Dubai. That's something.
Oh
to see.
wow.
It's like one thing, and then the next block there's desert.
That's why son dropped it on me. He's like, "Hey, I want to go to Dubai, Dad." And I'm like, yeah.
It's interesting.
bet
To
you
see. I
do.
was there. I wasn't there to go see everything, but seeing it, you're like, wow, I went to Oman as part of that trip. So that was pretty neat.
D1 Sports Wire. I just got an alert. Commissioner loves Dublin. Who will Vandy play in Ireland to open the season?
I've met with the Lord Mayor of Dublin about playing a game there.
An SEC game.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 2016, 17.
Yeah,
I've been over there, but it is. I've explained this to those interested. Like others are doing it with 40,000 seat stadiums that are half full. We're not moving the economics of 103,000 seat stadium. It just isn't as easy as it seems. We've had some interest in the league, but it'd be pretty cool.
You could do it at
Especially
Wembley,
week
could
zero.
You talked about London.
Yeah. If you have interest, we've got South Carolina playing in Paris this year in women's basketball, and our staff is providing support there. I don't want to just do those.
I assume you'll
things.
be at that game.
It is football season. It is football season.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is odd that you love Dublin. You took that meeting and we're not playing a football game there. I mean, I'm not sure.
Apparently, I'm not nearly as powerful as people think.
No, I just think that's a smart move by you.
No,
to
that's
go
right.
to a city you love.
You had to go
have
sniff it out.
Well, no, I was there on.
Have a good meeting.
So the full story is after my first year as commissioner in April, I looked at my wife and I'm like, I have to get out of the country. Like it just was so much. And the funnier story I've told is we went to Dublin. I rode those red double-decker tourist buses.
Yes.
Like you see those in New York, like I can't believe people get on that thing. I love that trip in Dublin.
Oh, wow.
Rolling around the top in town, the history there, the stops. We go to Killarney. We take a jaunting cart. Are you familiar with those?
I'm not.
Horse-drawn. They got a little guy riding it. It's got 2 seats, 2 wheels, up the mountain. Hop in a canoe that's got a motor. You go down a chain of lakes. It's really neat. Gap of Dunlow, and you come out at a castle. We get out of the boat. We're walking towards the castle to tour the castle. I don't have any logos on. This is my first year. Nobody knows who I am. And there were 4 LSU fans who recognized me in Dublin, Ireland, or in Killarney. The next year we go back because that was the U2 concert year, and we're in a pub, and I walked right by a South Carolina soccer player I had my picture taken with like 4 months or 6, 7 months earlier. And sat next to her and one of her teammates from an Icelandic professional soccer team. So small.
Wow.
SEC's everywhere.
I got 2 more for you. Most entertaining game you've ever witnessed in person. It doesn't have to be football.
Well, the Georgia Oklahoma Rose Bowl.
Oh, that was
Wow.
amazing.
That was remarkable because
Yeah.
the highs and lows.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a great venue to watch a game.
Yeah, Syracuse and Nebraska played football. Nebraska was in the Carrier Dome, now the JMA Wireless Dome. In 1984, and Syracuse upset them. That's when I was part of field rushing, which you shouldn't do.
Next time you hand out a fine.
I was not leading; I was following.
Okay,
Syracuse
yeah.
Georgetown games back in the Patrick Ewing, Ronnie Cycli type era.
At the Dome,
80s,
at the Carrier Dome? Yeah.
33,000.
Oh,
people
yeah.
Do you know
at
Boeheim?
the top. I've met him.
He seems like a jerk.
He's been nice to me.
If 80,000 ball fans were on the field, there was one person that was first, the leader. The other 79,999 were the followers.
Yeah. And Dunaway was videoing.
Yeah.
You remember
Tiger
Dunaway
Woods last Masters? I was at 18
2019?
on the 4th round. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I decided to stay. It was, the weather was early.
Yep,
So
yep.
watching him walk, and it was 10 yards from where I was seated at 18, up to greet his son, and just, the possibilities around redemption and change, and some of the physical things he had faced. Well, that was a really cool moment.
Speaking of Tiger, most interesting person you've ever played golf with?
In my foursome,
Yeah.
rats.
Oh, why?
no.
Well, what's the other answer?
Josh Allen
Oh, really?
Oh,
The
yeah.
Buffalo quarterback, huh?
and CC Sabathia. We just did this thing earlier.
Who's bigger? CC, right?
I think
No,
Josh is.
CC's
I thought he was 6'7".
well taller, but he's not the CC Sabathia that was playing at Cleveland and other places.
Can both of those guys match
It's
a golf ball?
fascinating. Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, Allen especially.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
What was your handicap? What's your handicap?
I don't play enough to have one.
He's traveling
Yeah.
too much.
I know. Dunaway's got his to an all-time low.
Yeah.
He wanted to bring that up.
What is that?
I don't want to say now because you
It's
don't
an
have one.
11.
Okay.
He's
I
got
shot
it
a
down to 11.
92 at a links course in California and felt good about it.
Well,
3 weeks
I
ago.
would have felt great about it.
Had fun. I was at Augusta National with a PGA staff member who said pivoting the marketing of the game to away from your score and what's your story. Because every time there's a hole where you have this story, right? Where,
right.
man, you just
Yeah.
hit it pure. And
That's
then
right.
you just got, I was playing at the country club of Little Rock. 15 is their signature hole. First off the drive to the right, and I'm stymied behind trees. I've got room. I pull out a 5-iron. It's as smooth as can be, and you just catch it. And, it just jumps off.
Such a good feeling.
And I'm up just on the side of the green, 2-putt, I birdie the hole, birdie the hole, and then the rest of the thing was a disaster of a scoring round for me.
It doesn't matter. You got the story.
I get to the tee of the next hole. It's a short par 3 with a 9-iron, and I somehow duck hook the thing so far left I can't find it, and I have no idea how that could have happened physically. So 15.
What tees do you hit from?
Wooden tees usually.
Because Dunaway, you play from the ladies, right?
I don't play from the ladies.
The
I play
long
appropriate
ones.
to my age.
The long ones with the stripes.
Yeah.
So you know how
That's
deep
how
it
deep
is.
the tee is.
Do you have master socks on?
He does. I
do.
noticed that
That's
earlier.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
If you go to
Can't hide it.
my TV guy from CAA turned me on like 5 years ago. I go in there and you'll see me walking around Augusta with a bag full of socks. I come home and Kathy's like, "Where are you going to put all those socks?" I'm like storing them like a squirrel with acorns because you never know when you're going to get a hole.
How many times have you played it?
One time. Played after the 21 on the Monday, which is pretty
Oh,
neat,
wow.
with
Right.
the pins.
Yeah.
So my claim to fame there is on the par 3s. 3 of the par 3s I parred. So 4, 6, which is back right deep from that elevated
Yeah.
tee.
It's like a,
Off the tee.
Yeah.
I think I was pumping a 4-iron in there. It was just
Wow.
to the back, and then 2 putted from the back for a par. I was pretty proud of that.
yeah, you should be.
4 to the right, pin high, got
Yep.
up and down. 12 was a disaster.
Yeah, did you hit it in
Just
water?
it's a mind game.
Yeah, it is.
Because I've parred the 2 par 3s.
I
I'm
know.
like, well, I got a streak going, right?
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
and you're so trying to be so smooth that you,
Yeah.
and then 16 play it in the middle. Like I had watched the day before, it was when Morikawa, who won, Matsuyama.
Yeah, I think so.
Hideki-
Yeah,
Hideki
Hideki
Matsuyama.
So he comes. I sat at 15 green 16. I'm now killing your time, right?
No, we don't care.
Buster
That's okay.
Olney's gone.
Yeah,
And
no, but Buster
'cause
knows we're running
at the
late.
beginning of
Yeah.
the day, I knew that was the place that if there's ever a chance, it would be competitive. It was that Schauffele gets through there, and I think he birdies, and then Matsuyama goes over the green. I didn't realize how many people hit past that green into 16 pond
Yeah.
because you're trying to get there, and there's just no way to stop it.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about when they play 15. Yeah.
And then Schauffele, I think it was Schauffele was second that year. He's on 16 green, and there'd been no wind the whole time. And right before he plays, you can see the wind swirls up, and he kept the same club. He's playing at the hole. Everybody else is playing at the middle. And so he ends up in the water. And had he just parred that, it's a whole different
Yeah.
dynamic because now he's got the momentum. Matsuyama would have probably given up at least one stroke
Yep.
right there. It would have been fascinating to see.
So you saw that and you're like, tomorrow when I play, I'm in the middle of the
Just
green.
hit in the middle of the
That's
green.
a
Don't-
smart play.
It's good advice.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you again. It's
Yeah,
always great
yeah.
having you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you. We'll see you in the
you wanted to come back at 6? And,
Yeah,
we'll keep going.
6
done
and
at
10. Like
Listen,
local news.
You got the weather?
We will bump anything for you. We don't even have to break now. We can keep going. We own this thing.
I'm here. So
Do you want to talk to Buster? I mean, he's an SEC guy.
if that doesn't violate some.
No, that's a rock star. Can you go ahead and call Buster and we'll let Greg Sankey. Do you have a question for him? Can you come up with a baseball question?
We're going to take a break first. or
Well,
we
I
keep
don't
rolling?
know. I don't know. What do you got to do? Can you sit through it? Well, I mean, I don't know. You just said we blow through the break. Now we're going to take the break.
No,
we own this thing.
We'll keep going.
I mean, we own this thing. I'm told. Well, I'm sure we need to do a.
For our
Great
affiliates
deal
along the
of
way.
confusion and upper management.
No.
Yeah, yeah, look it up
People
a minute.
complain about organizational decision making, and
For
here
our-
it is live on the air.
For our affiliates along the way, we'll be on a little later tonight.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
We'll make it
It'll
work.
Be fine. The
Yeah.
commissioner's with us here. We're not gonna break this. In fact, we'll label this continuous coverage from SEC Media Days right now, being brought to you by a ton of people. LT including our great friends right now at Hemp Hill. Tell us about Hemp Hill.
Yeah, right now, Hemp Hill wants to remind you they are offering 0% for 60 months for qualified members, plus free 10-year labor warranty when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent Train dealer. The team can service all makes and models for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Hemp Hill Services. Hard to stop a train. Call 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Any updates, Brownie?
He is up, Buster Olney, who joins us just like our coverage here in Nashville, courtesy of mybookie.ag. We have a special. First of all, Buster, I hope you're doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good. We have the SEC Commissioner with us, Greg Sankey, sitting in, just hanging out with us as SEC Media Days wraps up. So, you being a Vanderbilt grad, he wanted to, maybe ask a couple of baseball questions to you. So, I hope you're okay with talking to the commish.
Yes, sir, Mr. Commissioner.
That's the only right answer in that moment.
I mean, all of a sudden, Buster,
Just been put on the spot right there.
Buster, you sound like Sparky Anderson in 1976 on the end of a dial-up phone talking to the president. Yes, sir, Mr. Ford. Go ahead.
Well, being a Vanderbilt guy, we got to go for every advantage we can get.
Go ahead, Commissioner. Yeah. You're on with Buster.
Oh, you were giving me questions.
Yeah. Do you want a baseball question? You haven't watched much baseball.
I will. I'm curious from his perspective how he evaluates the talent that comes out of the Southeastern Conference and the preparation by playing in this league. Is it something that's meaningful for somebody to make the leap into the majors or into the high minors, or how should we look at ourselves differently from someone who's on the outside taking a Major League Baseball perspective?
Yeah, you're making me wish that I had asked the question of general managers and scouting directors, what level they would put SEC baseball on. Is it the equivalent of AA? Is it something, higher? Is it something a little lower? Because, as you start to ask the question, it was like, oh, my God, all the time when I call general managers or scouting directors in March or April or May, they'll, the first question is, okay, I'm going to Nashville. Where do I get something to eat? And then they talk about, I saw, this team, I saw LSU, they're loaded. I saw Vanderbilt, they're loaded. I saw this team, Florida. So I think you can see that in recent years, people have looked at, college players and SEC players in particular as being so close to being ready to the big leagues. Paul Skeens, the first pick in this year's draft out of LSU, I've had evaluators say he could pitch in the big leagues right now. He'd be one of the Pirates' 10 best pitchers right now. So the SEC, clearly the competition there does a great job in preparing those guys for the big leagues.
I need this clip for my promo.
No
absolutely.
problem.
You guys own it from this point.
We'll send it to you.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of Skeens, that signing bonus, any surprise there?
I don't think so. I mean, Ben Cherington, who runs the baseball ops for the Pirates, he is a really smart guy, and I know that he's going to go through every possible scenario about how they're going to handle things, how the signing of one player potentially impacts the rest of the draft, how you measure someone of his caliber, his talent, against other guys. I think what happened is that their perspective was that this is someone who could impact them in the big leagues as quickly as possible. As you guys know, they have all these pre-draft conversations where they probably refer to it as like monopoly money or some other euphemism, where they get a sense of where the players are looking for a signing bonus.
Am I not? I'm correct here. Buster's got a farm in New England as well, and Greg Sankey, the commissioner, is an old farm guy from upstate New York. You guys could talk farming a little bit. What kind of farm does your family have, Buster?
So we had Jersey cows on our farm in Randolph Center, and it's funny because I my family every year, I'm going to go back there in 2 weeks, rents a place on Lake George because my family has ties there at Hewlett's Landing since the early 1800s. So that's interesting. And Mr. Commissioner, I'm sure that you probably know all about, you guys read Laura Ingalls Wilder books, Almanzo Wilder, who she was married to. He had a farm up in Malone in upstate New York.
You reminded me of that. My lake place is in Skaneateles, New York, and Skaneateles Lake. People who have not been to New York State and experienced the lakes don't know what they're missing. I am personally a lake snob. Lake George is pretty spectacular. The Finger
Well,
Lakes
please
region,
tell me your
that's home for
Jersey.
me.
Please tell me you like Jersey cows better than Holsteins. That's all I need to know.
That's we had chickens and pigs, so I'm
Chickens and pigs. What's I mean, why? What is
the dairy farm was down the hill.
Yeah.
I think I just saw Buster on just the shot we have here. We don't have video of him. It seems like he turned his nose up at the chicken and pig farmer there.
We weren't farmers. My
Okay.
dad's a welder. So we
Okay.
lived in the middle of farm.
Oh,
Okay.
middle of farmland.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Dunaway just completely butchered that. So-
Misreporting.
We used to go to the farm to actually get our milk when I was young, direct from the farmer.
oh, really?
Right around the
Yeah.
corner.
So,
Absolutely.
Buster, what is the difference between Jersey cows and Holsteins?
Well, besides the fact that they're better and smarter than Holsteins,
Yeah.
and all things aside, generate much higher volume of milk. But Jersey milk is much higher in butterfat content, and it's better for cheese, for ice cream, etc. Which is why a lot of the farms that feed into Ben and Jerry's in Vermont, they are Jersey farms because of that butterfat content.
Wow. How about that?
We're not even talking about Holsteins.
Well, Holsteins, I know, like, I have actually, Buster, in my family, somebody that owns a pretty successful farm, and they were making a big deal out of Holstein cows. So I didn't really, and I don't know much, even though I grew up in a little bit of a rural area, I just don't know a whole lot about it. So,
I can't believe we're having this conversation.
what ESPN's Buster only in the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference?
Appearance agreements are going to be greatly modified after this.
I would imagine. So, Buster, Braves fans, they lost 4 straight games, and it was like the world was coming to an end. And one of them was that wild Arizona game. I mean, I guess what are you laughing at? What?
I'm just sitting here with one of my favorite reporters, Buster Only, and the most powerful man in college athletics, and it's the most unique show I've ever been a part of.
It's our show.
Yes.
But Buster, I mean, what can you tell Braves fans coming out of the All-Star break that wonder if maybe the All-Star break got them out of rhythm a little bit?
I think they'll be fine. But what I do think is, and my son, I told you, he's a crazy Braves fan, 19 years old. He texted me the other day during that crazy 16-13 game of the Diamondbacks. He said, "This is a blessing in disguise because it's going to be a dose of truth for the front office that they need pitching help before the deadline." And you guys know Alex Topoulos is the head of baseball ops with the Braves. His deals for those outfielders propelled them to the championship in 2021. And I'm sure, having known Alex, he's got a lot of great humility to him that he probably is looking at and saying, you know what, we need to add a starting pitcher. We need to add a bullpen piece. So who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us and be in the conversation for, a Marcus Stroman. Maybe they'll be in the conversation for Jack Flaherty of the Cardinals. Has been pitching better. He's available for trade. Lucas Giolito. They need help. We talked last week about how the Phillies, they're not going to catch the Braves in the National League East. But that team is put together a great pitching staff, which has an ERA a half run better than any other team, including the Braves, since June 3rd. The Braves need help. They got a great everyday lineup. It's the best everyday lineup in baseball. I think, people believe that, but they are going to need help. And I will tell you this too. Everyone's wondering about Shohei Ohtani and will he be traded? What teams could be interested in him? Even if the Braves were prepared to pay the price for Ohtani if he's traded, what you hear is that their farm system, which has graduated so many guys in the big leagues in recent years, really doesn't have the type of talent that the Angels are going to need to trade Ohtani.
Fenway Park, Sunday night for Buster and the gang on ESPN. 6 o'clock first pitch, Mets, Red Sox. That's the game you will see with Buster and his crew Sunday night on ESPN. He will be back with us next Thursday, as always, courtesy of mybookie.ag. Thank you so much for the time and flexibility today, Buster. And the answers about cows. We greatly appreciate all of it.
Absolutely. I'll have to get some Ben and Jerry's in the mail to you guys.
Please do. Did you get our coffee? We sent you coffee. Did you get it and try it yet?
I got a notification that I have something in my mailbox, and I'm headed out there as soon as I'm done talking with you guys.
Fantastic. Let us know how it is. Thank you, Buster. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, buddy. You too. Buster with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline is always presented by MyBookie.ag.
You're about to ask the question. We have coffee.
Yeah, we got you some.
Show up.
Do you drink coffee?
Oh, I love coffee.
Okay, well, we're going to send
In
you home
fact,
with a bag.
is it whole bean or grind?
Whole.
Whole?
Yeah,
Is
so
whole
I have
okay?
a grinder every morning.
Yeah.
Dark
Fantastic.
roast,
Yep.
dark
Yeah.
roast, or is this a
Is that
light
dark?
show?
Is that
It's
a
dark?
medium? We have a medium, a
Oh,
dark.
this is dark roast.
Yeah.
This is an impressive step forward. For
Yeah,
the
do you
show.
see our photo?
You turn down our vodka, you take our coffee.
Yeah. So who do you think looks most like themselves on there? Me, Rockstar, Jim, or Lance?
None of the above.
Goodness. It looks
Dunaway drew it with his left hand.
What happened to Jim's head?
well, they forgot. They had to Photoshop one on.
He's got no nose.
Age, man.
No
It's age.
nose. We are without nasal passages.
We worked hard. We drank a lot of different cups of coffee to come up with the right bean for that.
Yeah.
So
I respect that. Seriously.
yeah.
No,
Big
it-
fan of coffee. I have about 6 different kinds. Hawaii, pea berry blend, awesome. I could go down the list of places, but they're not sponsoring you. So
No, but where's the best place you've ever had a cup of coffee?
Like location or
Yeah,
the quality of the coffee.
Yeah, either or. I mean, was it in a certain city?
my
restaurant?
youngest daughter and I spent a weekend for music, 2 U2 concerts and a third day concert, and we'd go drink coffee in Times Square and just sit and watch for 2 hours. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, the people watching.
But I've done
yeah.
that in London too, so not great. I mean, the coffee's fine. The Kauai coffee. We were out there last year, the week before Vanderbilt. The pea berry blend was good, really good stuff.
Yeah.
There's a coffee shop, a coffee place, White Rock Coffee in Dallas that has an Our Lady of the Lake blend, which it reminds me of Monty Python Spamalot because there's an Our Lady of the Lake stick in there, but it's a dark blend that's just really smoky with a chocolate flavor. You've got me going now.
Yeah. Everybody in the
Finger
chat-
He's got a passion.
Finger Lakes Coffee has a couple lake blends from up in that region.
Right.
They've named them that are really, really tasty.
Everybody in the chat room thinks you've found an oasis up here from all the serious stuff going on in the second floor. Is that what happened?
I don't know what's
Does anybody in the conference?
I've got my phone's on airplane mode.
Oh, fantastic.
People are packing up and it's
Yeah.
like, just one more question.
Does anybody in the entire Southeastern Conference know where you are right now?
No,
I love it.
I said I wasn't doing this, and then I was drawn in. It's like the,
Wow,
siren,
yeah.
the siren song
We're very
of
hard
the
to
next
resist.
round.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to get my logo
He's
back.
here to get his
I'm
logo.
going to wait you guys out and steal the logo.
if you
We need
walk
that.
out with it, just let Taylor follow you.
Yeah, that's
Just-
right.
We've got to get that.
I do think technically we're supposed to bring it back to Birmingham and drop it off at your office.
Oh, so we were part of this?
No. We
We
paid for
negotiated.
this.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it a lease deal?
Well, I mean, we don't like to get into business
Yeah.
discussions.
Come on. I mean,
Yeah.
if we
That's it.
We tell ya.
Since we talked about
We
vodka
probably could talk
sponsorship.
about it. We could probably talk
Parents
a
are good.
partnership.
yeah, we'd
Yeah.
love to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
about
Do you
that.
like?
I have a network to support.
Well, I
so-
know, but how do you think we would play on there?
Wow. Pointed question. I have a job I'm happy with.
No, I mean, like if we did a specialty show for the SEC Network, I think it'd be very popular.
On like dairy cows, perhaps.
No,
Since
just
we're-
we would preview the weekend's games.
It's like
SEC
Krusty the Clown on Simpsons. One time he had a line where "We've got range." That's the line that I keep thinking of. What's been covered here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We pitched you a bunch of shows when the network was
Yeah,
launching.
Yeah, and you guys
Who's
are
we
playing.
and who's you? When the network
We-
was beginning,
yeah.
I was not the commissioner.
No, it
so-
was Commissioner Slive.
Yeah.
We pitched. He did not. I don't know that he got. Mike Slive is the nicest man that's ever lived. One of them. I don't know that.
Where do I rank?
You're as nice as he is. I was going to say though, I don't think he got our show the way you did,
Right.
the way you do. I don't think Commissioner Slive, though he was very nice to us, would do anything we ask. I don't think he really felt the show the way you do.
Yeah, because we're all sarcastic like you.
Yeah, you've got more of a sense of humor that matches us, and we pitched him the idea of do you remember Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah.
So we pitched him the idea of the three of us and Rockstar doing Mystery Science Theater 3000 on old SEC games, like just the 1984 Iron Bowl, and we just do a Mystery Science 3000 theater. on
So
that.
you'd have the actual silhouettes of those drawings right
Yeah,
there
That's right.
on the bottom of the screen
And that was
while we watch the games reacting.
and
to
that
it.
was our pitch.
I would go back to the Alabama LSU game. Rockstar called to the video center. I think that may have hurt your relationship.
Oh, did it really?
I secretly laughed for weeks, and I'm still laughing as I think about it.
That's some of Rockstar's best work. when he puts the phone on hold and is playing the Alabama fight song,
It's not the way it is. It's not the way it is.
It's got Eli Gold highlights.
It's not the way it is. It's just humor.
Yeah,
Right?
it was humor.
It's humor.
We could bring something to the table. I know people want
I'm
to
going
watch
to get so many
Missouri.
phone calls
know
from
people-
my staff when they found out, but they said, "What were you thinking?" I'd have got that contract done last week because it wouldn't be done this week.
I know people are going to miss a Missouri volleyball game on a Tuesday, but you know,
They're called matches. Matches.
Yeah, it's not a game.
And we don't play on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's a
replay.
It's
I'm
a
talking about
replay.
during the
We
day, you
could
don't
do-
have any.
Yeah, we can do creative content.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're the only guys coming to me with ideas for shows.
We're
we got a-
Birmingham
we-
based.
We got a track record. That's what
the network is based in Charlotte, North Carolina.
It is.
Like rock stars on hold music.
that was such a funny bit you did.
It's one of those things I was brought into carefully.
Right.
Hey, we want you to listen to this. It wasn't like this is so funny.
We want to see if you think it's funny.
Did you laugh immediately?
Oh yeah, because I think I was probably commissioner then, if I recall, and I had been at both games, ironically.
Yeah, you
That-
pointed that out to us. Yeah.
And
Yep.
that's not the way it works. It's all in humor.
Right.
You have to have the ability to laugh at yourself from time to time.
I remember the first time he played it though when he put that phone on hold and it's Eli Gold highlights. I thought I was gonna die.
What makes it funnier is having been involved in listening to voicemails that actually come into our office.
Right.
There's some stuff you just wouldn't
Oh
believe.
man, I would love to hear them.
I mean,
Is it like
late-
fans that are pissed?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, that's another good show. You should,
Yeah.
you should have.
Just
We
play
could
them.
host that
Like,
show,
remember
and we
me-
just play them.
Mean tweets, remember?
Right.
That segment on game day.
Yeah.
You could do like angry voicemails.
God, I would love that.
One of the most memorable ones, and I think Charlie Hussey is the one who accessed it.
Nicest guy in the world,
Who
Charlie.
called and
Yeah.
and when Jamarcus Russell was playing at LSU, the fan left a message as serious could be that Jamarcus Russell is a cyborg, complaining that it's not fair. And not only do we have to overcome the other team, the officials, and the unfair schedule,
Yeah.
but now we find out Jamarcus Russell, I've on good information, as a cyborg. It's like what? 15 years ago,
Right.
and it's just as dead serious as could
Yeah.
be.
That's a 30-minute show right
I
there. Just
know.
playing
That
those
would be
every
great.
week.
Oh, you'd need a couple hours on some weeks, and there'd be a lot of beeps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many people actually call and ask for you? Do you have any idea?
No, I've got no, but I walk out. Our director of first impressions, who answers the phones because that's what it is, worked at a prominent local private school for the superintendent. And after the first year, I walked out. I'm like, I'm sorry, I offered you this job. She said, well, no, I was prepared well for it. With parents in a private school setting, they can become aggressive. And then after a certain thing, so you're like, just put it on direct to voicemail. Don't put.
That's a great advice. though.
Yep.
Yeah. Direct to
Yep.
voicemail.
In fact, I was with Billy Lucci's group at texags.com.
Great people.
They do a
They asked
tremendous
me-
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, if people will send me a note or an email and there's no profanity involved, I'll respond.
Okay.
They may not like my response, but
Right.
I'll respond with profanity. But if there's no threats, no abuse, just like, hey, why, or I think that, and so sure enough, within I don't think tape had even finished running. And somebody said, you said you would respond if there's no profanity or no abuse. And then
Yeah.
I haven't responded yet, but I didn't put a timeline.
Yeah, that's true. You just said you'd get back to him, right? Okay.
Oh,
Do you want to stick around? We
That
got to
was an
take a break.
awkward pause right there.
You know what,
We're
Mike?
way
I
behind.
was just reminding you, you're
Yeah.
a huge.
What
YouTube-
other weekly appearance could I completely describe?
No, that was it
No,
for the
no,
week.
no.
Yep.
It's all just bonus time now.
Yeah.
I would remind you because you're a U2 fan. This whole show now reminds me of when Bono in Birmingham just popped up at what was the old it wasn't
Saturn?
Prince.
no, Bono did it too one
Oh,
time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when U2 was in town, but it wasn't. It was Louis, right there on the corner.
Okay.
Louis.
Louis, yeah. Bono was in town and just showed up on stage one night, started playing a small little set, sang
I-
a song or two.
Oh, you'd love that.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
Prince
I
did it
would
too.
have, yeah. I
Yeah.
would. This is just like that, huh?
Well,
It's interesting analogy, right?
Yeah.
yeah. You notice how Taylor gets the job offers. I never get the job offers. I don't think the commissioner's impressed with my
Hey,
IQ.
you said you're a lake snob. Do any of our lakes in Alabama, do they meet the
They're nice.
requirements?
I'm Indiana Jones and I share a characteristic, and that is that I do not like snakes.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But
we
there's
got
no
a lot
snakes
of
in
them.
New York.
Not the kind that bother you.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've got some friends with really nice lake places in,
Yeah.
in Alabama.
Do you know there's no poisonous snakes in Yellowstone?
That would be a good place for me.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I really don't have a need to study that fact.
Yeah.
But now that I know that,
So you're like any snake's a dead snake. That's a good snake for you, right?
not
Like,
a big fan of snakes. I recognize they have a place in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
I would just like them to be on my neighbor's property.
that's
not on
right.
mine.
Because like if you kill them and you kill a rat snake, everybody's like, oh, you just screwed up. That keeps the varmints away.
Yeah, I'm not. I just like them to stay away.
We had,
Yeah,
we, had
I'm
a,
with you.
we had a poll question the other day, and it was, and I know you're out at the
People
dating
when they
market,
get angry about something are going to be mailing me rubber
Yeah,
snakes.
about
now.
snakes.
but what would be worse, dating a girl that had 3 cats or one that had a snake?
It's really not an option since I'm married. I think.
No,
Well,
that's what
yeah,
I'm saying. You're
that's
back in
right.
market.
back
you
in the
have-
single.
My
days.
wife had a cat, so
So I
But
think
she didn't have
you know,
3. And there's
she had 2 sisters, so the household had 3.
Oh, good point.
there you go.
so I guess you would go
Yeah.
cat.
Cat's your answer there.
Well, I think he's told you snakes are non-starter.
But you know,
for him.
the thing I point out about snakes is you got to go back to the book of Genesis. Like Satan could have chosen any animal out there, right? I mean, I would have believed he had his choice and he chose the snake. which-
Snakes got off to a bad
It
start.
really
right?
did. I mean, and he's
If
never
you
written
really
this.
dig into the way it's
That's
written,
right.
I probably had a pretty good look, and then
Yeah. I would imagine God was like, which
The
one you
whole-
want? And he goes, I'll take that one right there. And he's like,
belly
"All right."
thing.
Yeah.
And then you saw that guy that captured the 20-foot python.
I saw that and it almost bit him.
Yeah, why would you go put yourself in that?
I
I
position?
don't know. And then he grabs it right behind his head and the mouth on that thing.
I'm glad there are people who do that.
Yeah, me too. And I
'Cause I
ain't one of
won't
them.
encounter that
W-
20-foot python.
We did a show on illogical thoughts for logical people. Like Dunaway at our Airbnb switched rooms with me the first night because if there was a home invasion, they were going to take me out first, and so he went to the very top.
Lance was on the bottom floor.
Yeah. But my point is, every time I get
respect that thought.
every time I get in the ocean, I think of sharks. I don't necessarily think a shark's going to attack me, but it's on my mind. Is it on your mind?
No, I don't think I'm that tasty. Apparently, you have a much.
Well, the shark doesn't know till he bites. So that's the thing.
Yeah, I do.
My irrational thought is like when I go to like championship games and wear the same sport coat for like the 3rd straight game.
Is that a superstition thing or?
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
able to keep up
That's
with it now,
irrational.
though, right?
Or the anxiety I have around games, like I have anything to do with it.
Right.
So not like regular season games, but postseason games.
You know what? All you got to do is keep not a ticket anymore, but your lanyard or anything in the jacket pocket, and then you'll know what you wore it to.
Yeah, no, that'll happen. Like with this one, I don't think I have anything in it, but like in 2 months I'll wear it again. I'm like, oh, that's what last
custom
time-
from Shaya's, by the way.
How do you
Am I
know?
wrong?
Actually, a different store. Now you outed me for having shopped at a different men's store. It is custom. Thanks for that. Ken, most of my stuff's from you.
Yeah.
They're not a
This
sponsor
is
right
hitting,
now,
hitting,
so
hitting. I was in Oxford and I fell. I strayed.
that's okay.
Well, you got to spread the SEC love. I
Yeah.
mean, you're the commissioner to 14, soon to be 16 campuses.
That's right.
I mean, Shaya's is one of the best men's stores out there, though.
Yeah, very much.
I mean,
so.
you've been around
Yeah, I'm
because I
very
think
supportive.
Paul used to get his. I think Paul's got a tailor now in Charlotte, and they've got some kind of big time.
What do you
location
think
there.
Paul's waist size is?
I
That
would
is a
bet Paul
skinny-
is a 28,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh, do you know the waist sizes of all the network employees?
Hey, we went to a steakhouse with Paul for dinner one night.
Oh,
What do
you
you think
should've
he
seen
ordered?
it.
Salad.
Rockstar, describe what Rockstar ate or Feinbaum ate that night at dinner with us.
He had his hands up and he said, I will just have a baked potato. As a side, no, I just want a baked potato. You want toppings on it? Nope, just the baked potato. No butter? No butter, just a baked potato. He ate every single bit of that baked potato.
Get it all.
I like
There
the
was
skin on
nothing.
baked
There was
potato. Do
nothing
you?
like
I'm a
it.
fan of the baked potato. It's not,
And that one
it
forever.
goes into starch and sugar in your body, so you got to manage yourself.
Yeah. Oh, he ate every bit of it. I
But-
think he might have put salt and pepper on it. I can't remember.
But that was it. There was no salad. There
Nothing.
was no steak, no meat or anything.
And
Have you ever had dinner with him?
Yes.
Did he eat a normal dinner?
I think we were too busy telling stories among the group that I just don't pay attention. I don't have a need to retain what other people are eating.
He ate Uncrustable next to me at an Iron Bowl once.
I mean, that kind of stuff pops out, doesn't it? If somebody's just ordering a potato at a steakhouse with nothing else, and you're in a press box, and a guy pulls out an Uncrustable.
And it was wrapped in foil. Like, I mean, it was still in the plastic, but it was wrapped in foil. And like he reaches it, Paul's got that satchel like he's delivering mail, and he picks it up and he puts it in his lap and he flips the flap
Was it
open.
the Uncrustable made by Smuckers?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Those
Out of
things
the
are so
package,
good.
But then wrapped.
No. He had put it in his bag wrapped in foil. I assume to
keep it cold.
and then he unwrapped the
Oh,
foil. And
We have them available on the golf course at our golf tournaments, and I was not introduced to them until this year.
Uncrustables.
Very
they're
good.
phenomenal, aren't
Very good.
Yeah, Bama's got them in their locker room for halftime.
they? Yeah, we were the media coaches one time, and that was the highlight of the night of the day
so good.
because it was roasting outside for April, and we go in at halftime, and they got ice cold
Are you,
Uncrustables.
you more
And
strawberry or
I
grape?
just kept going back to the table.
I used to be exclusive grape as a kid. I like strawberry better now, I think.
I'm a big fan of the strawberries, just strawberry season in New York where I was. I would say strawberry. It's
Yeah.
like, look at me processing. I really have to
I put
analyze it.
strawberry
I-
jelly on my Chick-fil-A. We've given Chick-fil-A a lot of love today.
Oh,
They
yeah,
don't do
but they're
anything with
good.
those. I put strawberry jelly on my Chick-fil-A biscuits. Really good.
I don't do that.
You got to try it.
It is a weird thing. He used to put cheese, like the slice of cheese on
Raspberry
biscuits.
jam.
Huh?
Big bad breakfast.
oh, yeah.
Raspberry jam.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
He used to put cheese on his Pop-Tarts, though. Lance would melt cheese on his
This
Pop-Tarts.
gets overplayed.
Well, you said
There was
you
a
did it.
day where I just had, there was only a piece of cheese in the fridge, and I had Pop-Tarts, and so I put the cheese on the Pop-Tart and melted it. It was good.
have you ever had mustard sandwiches?
No.
Just mustard and bread.
When I was a kid, yeah, mustard.
I mean,
Sandwich.
but you're-
big fan of mustard.
Were you poor, or did you choose to eat that?
I chose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad, I didn't know your dad was a welder.
Welders make good
They
money.
do okay, yeah.
They-
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like you were probably a middle-class family
yeah,
growing up,
we're
right?
middle
Yeah.
class,
Do,
yeah.
do you know the most dangerous job in the world?
Deadliest catch guys,
Well,
fishermen and Bering Sea.
No.
No, I think he's right about that. I think underwater welder was once the job, I think.
Underwater welder.
Yeah, that would be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crazy ways they die.
Yeah.
My father was not an underwater welder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think.
He was
Upstate New York, that'd be tough.
Well, they have pipelines and nuclear plants and coal-fired plants and
Yeah.
things like that. I worked on a nuclear plant 2 summers. Part of
Really?
the job relationship with the local union. Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you have strict
Still
parents?
functioning.
Are you a strict parent?
I don't know, you ask my kids that. I think we had expectations. You wanted your children to learn how to make their own decisions. So our view was you're not raising children, you're raising adults eventually. And how do you foster them along the way? Big fan of the JH Ranch experience where you end up
Heard so
talking
much
to
good
your
about
kids.
that. Yeah.
It opened up a conduit so we could always have through those difficult high school years continuing dialogue. So there's things I missed because I was working and in college athletics. They got to be a part of it. I think we did well. Was I strict? Yeah, we had expectations, but I don't think unreasonably so.
I follow her on social media. I saw that she's been getting up very early with the new grandbaby. Baby sleeping well for her. It's, as
The last time we talked, not so much. It was they came home from the hospital last Thursday. We spoke on FaceTime Friday. As a first-time parent, how careful. Remember that?
Yes.
I was like, Hannah, when we drove you home, it's the most careful drive home I ever had. Your sister, 3 years later, I'm blowing through yellow.
I know.
Get the kid home.
It's totally different, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
And so they had to figure out feeding. They hadn't slept the first night home, and you could tell everybody's frazzled. We hung up the FaceTime, pushed leave, and I looked at my wife and I said, "We just got a lot smarter."
I forgot what your streak was broken at doing a mile a day for.
3.5 or 35 minutes a day. Yeah, 502 days.
Okay. Are you back on that?
No, I had knee surgery. It's been harder to come back. I just did a 15K race, a 9-miler. So I was encouraged that I was able to continue forward, but I've got to get back at it.
You ever thought about swimming?
I have been encouraged to swim. In fact, at the lake, I was swimming and I was out of breath, but then it's a big commitment. I should have stayed living in Brook Island and gone to 119 to exercise.
Yeah, swimming laps is,
Yeah,
obviously zero impact.
I did a lot of swimming when I was a kid, and my doctors told me, maybe you should think about this since this hurts and that hurts.
Stephen wants to know if you're going to go see U2 in the Sphere in Vegas.
I am. I have
Are
2
you?
sets of tickets.
Oh, really?
One opening night, but I don't know if I can make that happen.
When is it?
September 29th.
Probably a
Red
little busy time for you.
Red eye back.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Well, I know because you love you
Don't
too.
dare me.
don't dare me. I'll do it on the
Hey,
red.
that's when we can do our show out there.
Yeah, I mean,
We were asked about it last night. We've got a great setup.
in Vegas, and they want us to come out and do shows. We just can't figure out a time to do it.
You got two
And
sets of
this
tickets.
This is National Football Foundation week. You got all your coaches and ADs out there.
When is this?
It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after our championship game. Everybody heads out to Vegas.
Oh, that's what Marcelo was
dinner
talking
Is that what
about.
Marcelo was telling us about?
We got, we have, I'm going to miss people now. Eric Berry, Tim Tebow, Jeremy Macklin are three of the players, and Roy Kramer are going to be inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame. That's when they go through the Hall of Fame inductions.
Yeah. Okay.
You could fill up shows
Right.
out there,
Yeah.
but I'm in production.
Well, clearly you will hire us for the SEC Network.
This has become so obvious, and the chat room was the first on to this, that you were just hiding out.
Yeah, you do not want. I don't know what's going on the second floor, but you want no part of it right now. I mean, did somebody get fired down there?
No.
Okay.
It's a lot of
You're
I
exhausted.
mean, if I
this
leave
is actually
here,
a comfortable chair. I've got Perrier.
yeah.
I just spoke Perrier into existence. Like
We may have
an hour and
another
a
one
half
over
ago.
there, dude.
I know it's got a whole bottom roll of it.
And I got a bag of coffee too.
That's right.
Pretty
free
soon I'm
coffee.
gonna get a free T-shirt or something.
Yeah,
By
we're.
the way, you sent me a T-shirt with like the states on
Yeah,
it.
did you like that
is
one?
one comfortable T-shirt.
Yeah.
You are buying your T-shirts from the right company.
Well, yeah, we went high end on that.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
about the design, but
That was my idea. What'd you not like about it?
I don't know. I just said that.
It's
But
got all the
T-shirt-
SEC states
Yeah,
on
but
it.
the T-shirt itself, I am become very particular about T-shirts I wear
Uh-huh.
based on just the comfort level. Because
Yep.
there's this whole modern cotton thing that we got to move past some of those crusty
Yep.
cotton things the
Yep.
third time you wash them.
Hey, what would you have done if USC and UCLA reached out?
Well, Lance, we
I'm a hypothetical guy, by the
we
way.
do this bouncing around, some soft jabs, and he tries to throw the hook at you.
I got to go back to moving the championship.
I actually know the answer to that question.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they did reach out.
Probably not going to share it.
Oh,
well, I
don't
guess
do
you
that.
said no.
Hey, look,
We're all friends.
everybody's quit watching now. I mean, basically, we're talking.
Yeah.
To nobody.
There's nobody on.
Nobody's
Yeah,
on.
right.
This is only Rockstar is going to hear this, and Tyler back in the
Yeah,
studio.
and it's live, and then it's going to be in the D1 ticker. and-
D1
They're
D1
gonna
ticker's gonna be all over this,
all
yep.
over again.
Do you have Mike Bone in your cell phone?
No.
No.
Have you
So-
had a conversation with him?
I don't think so.
So they did they or did they not reach out?
I don't have a cell phone.
Well, that doesn't mean they couldn't have reached
I don't
out.
have a cell phone from a president.
Do you know what a burner phone is?
I do, but I don't.
You know who
I
does
do it
know
for
what-
college sports.
Hugh Freeze doesn't know what a burner
my
phone
God,
is.
Lance.
Okay, we went way off.
Yeah. You remember the line? You went across it right there. Yep. What are we going to do here? I mean, we've got all these breaks left. It is 20 minutes left of the show.
We've got no breaks left.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'll leave.
No,
No.
You want me to,
We
you want me to
are-
read something?
Huh?
Quick announcement.
Yeah.
We are pulling the trigger. Our trash is out today.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he
we'll
wanted to
give
do trash.
mortgage right 3, unless he wants to.
I didn't know if he wanted to
It
do
doesn't-
trash or 4 downs. We got
I
4
got
downs,
4 down.
and we got a team unveil. I mean, I hate to be the.
no. What we're doing is we're going as long as the commissioner wants,
Well, I think he's.
and then we'll regroup.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is continuous
Well,
coverage.
I'm gonna make a cocktail if we're doing that.
I hate to tell you about this. I've been with you 13 years. That hadn't stopped you or prevented you. Anytime you wanted one, you made one. Commissioner, hang on. I got to get one sponsor in here real quick. Let me see which one. How about our great
He's not
friends?
listening to you.
Yeah, our great
He checked his
friends.
email.
Go ahead and just throw mortgage right out here.
Yeah.
Well, this is trash brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here, Dunaway.
Of all the ones I picked, that's the one you can't do.
I can when I pull the copy. I got it right here, though. I got it
Okay,
right
all
here.
right,
We're fine.
all right.
We're fine.
Yep.
Not a
All
problem.
I mean, could you not see this on the SEC Network? I can't believe you don't want us.
Yeah.
I mean, watch this.
I mean, there is a great chance we're going to leave here and something major has broke that the commissioner is staying.
Are
away
you?
I know.
Are you liking the? You guys aren't moving anytime soon, right?
No.
Okay, just checking. Housing
Why
market
would
stuff
you
right
ask
now.
that? Yep.
No, I'm about to do a mortgage commercial. Mortgage right.
And he was
They
trying to
do
get you.
mortgages
He was trying to get you to endorse it.
the right way, locally owned and operated mortgage right. Standing by to help you today. Visit the locations, Highway 280 in Birmingham, Parkway Drive in Leeds. You can apply at mortgageright.com/TNR or call 205-815-9200, NMLS 2239 equal housing lender.
You know what we're going to do next time you're on? We're going to have one of those little signs that spins around every time we do a read to let you know when we're coming back from commercial.
Can I ask questions? Can
Sure,
I?
yeah,
conduct-
please do. You do the rest of the show. We've got
After show, do you like have to call sponsors and say, "I'm sorry, I stumbled over the sponsor"?
Oh no,
it's baked into the cake.
Now,
When
you
they
did
buy
no-
us.
You did notice I stumbled down that one, right?
Yeah, that's I think that
Or
was
the
the genesis.
difficulty in finding.
Yeah, yes.
We know it's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you say that.
You know how bad he is with technology, though. Did you see him stumbling to look at that? And look at all these papers down here. Have you seen more paper other than a Jimbo Fisher call sheet? Have you seen more papers?
Actually, yeah.
Are you a paper guy?
I prefer paper.
I do too.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And that's when I read books. I like to tell them. But I was going to ask the question.
Okay, please go ahead.
So
My
do you bring your sponsors together for celebrations from time to time?
In fact,
Kickoff party.
I don't think we've announced the date yet, but it may be August 17th for a kickoff party.
Yep.
We do it every year
Every
around
year.
our anniversary.
Oh, do we have a date? I didn't know we had a
Well,
date.
we've discussed that.
It's going to
date.
be August 17th.
I've got an
most
issue
likely.
with it, but it's.
D1 Ticker is reporting it's going to be August 17th.
Probably so.
Do you? Would you come if we invited you? It's local.
We have an athletics directors meeting that day.
It's at night.
In a different city.
Is that your
That's
go-to?
different city.
Different city.
No, that's legit. I was going through the math.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I started asking these questions and I'm going to be obligated to something. I'm like, oh, phew, I've got an AD meeting.
Yeah, it's an easy out because
Yeah.
nobody knows. Like,
Yeah.
it's
What,
not-
what did you think of the schedule when it was released in
Uh,
mid-June?
Loved it. I wanted 10. You were going to give me 10, but I loved it.
do you think we'll ever see? Because back when Texas and Texas A&M played, it was a Thanksgiving night game. Do you think we'll see that move back, or do you think the Egg Bowl's there long term?
The Egg Bowl is there for a period of time.
Yeah.
We were talking about a Black Friday night game. Potential there?
Yeah, well, I was just at the Texas High School Coaches Association talking about why we're not going to play football on Friday nights, which
Right.
I actually think is an important issue for college.
I agree.
Have a level of respect for high school football.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Friday night should be sacrosanct. I think it should be limited.
We do have that Black Friday afternoon game.
That's a little different.
Last year, Florida played in Tallahassee against FSU, but we had, and I think we had a little bit of conversation with the two schools, to their credit, work with the High School Athletic Association to make sure it wouldn't be viewed as problematic.
Yeah.
You know, it's late in the season, you're in
Right.
the playoffs, depending on when those games are played. So they went ahead and did it, but I don't think more of that is healthy for us because of the impact on high school
I
football,
like-
drawing the attention away.
Yeah, I like that everybody got Texas or Oklahoma. I thought that was a really
Yeah,
good
that
idea.
was one of those when you think about decisions that
Right.
just aren't apparent. We didn't have to do that, and we had a variety of models that made a lot of sense the first year, like having 4 schools or 2 schools or 3 schools not play, trying to figure out another configuration wasn't as effective a talking point. Like, okay, what's the first thing that everybody's going to play either Texas or Oklahoma? Boom. Now you have a set of decisions that result from that.
Right.
Matchups that either happen or don't happen. And we wanted to try to protect a lot of what I invented this phrase this week, games of passion.
I like it.
Because it's not just rivalry
Yep.
games, and we get into this primary rival, secondary rival. And so games that really make your heart beat faster, that are traditional games. We were able to accommodate most of what people would describe as fitting in that category. Now we're not going to be able to do that in an 8-game schedule every year. So we're going to run out of that runway. We used it, I think, wisely this time. We also have to make a decision that facilitates if there were to be a change, changes in non-conference schedules. We have to think about the impact on our non-conference scheduling requirement. It's interesting that you have this intersection of the start of an expanded CFP around our expansion, Big Ten expansion. What does that mean? We've done predictive analytics trying to figure it out. Not really a big difference between 8 or 9, but some. And all of those are part of the conversation. And then, we had been trying to figure out how to find a date and time. In fact, talked with our athletics directors in Destin about a very different time frame for the schedule announcement to make it its own event. And then you saw we said we're going to play 8 games. There was like two weeks of murmuring.
Right.
It's like literally, we're playing 8 games.
Yeah.
And then here we go, and the wow of the program that I thought was really well done. And then afterwards, a level of, I think positive feedback of what we presented.
Well, in fact, as a longtime reporter, the story you do after a release like that is, well, what games did they miss? That's the easy story you do after that. What games were left out? And I saw a couple of those stories, and I looked at the list that were left out, and I was like,
live without
we're
those.
not really
Yeah.
missing much. You
Yeah.
did a good job of not leaving anything out.
Yeah, and then you look at you take a schedule. So I've heard different look at their schedules really tough. It's actually a much more narrow strength of schedule variance. It's a much more equitable way compared to divisions where you had
Right.
a fairly substantial disparity. We've got more decisions to make. My thinking is, okay, we did here's who you're going to play. Then we need another show about when you're going to play them, and then another show about the time of the day when you're going to play them, and then another show about what uniforms you're going to be wearing. Like, how do we make more programming out of these things?
Would there ever be just like a throwback Saturday, not an every year thing, but maybe one year we just say, okay, this is going to be a throwback Saturday, and everybody have a retro uniform weekend?
We've done that in basketball. You don't have the cleanliness, if you will, around, like, you can do it all within 1 or 2 weeks because you don't know open weeks.
Right.
We haven't talked about that. I mean, literally all of our energy has been from a competitive standpoint on entry and making sure we're ready. And so we have to determine our 25 and beyond football schedule, our baseball tournament format, our gymnastics championship format. We're talking about format that we thought we decided in women's soccer. Everything else, we've got format set, and those are just make decisions.
Single elimination in the baseball. That's what we vote.
Yeah. Do you think when Texas and Oklahoma come, will it expand the size of the baseball field? Do you think?
I mean, that's the stress point.
Yeah.
The issue for fans is, we've got almost 300 RV spots, for example.
Right.
And those folks come, and if you know your team is subject to double elimination, you can make a commitment 2, 3, say 4 days.
Good point.
Fun.
Yeah.
If it's single elimination and you can be, somebody's got a hot pitcher, you can be out in one day. You can't plan for the travel. So I also look at, we were adding the 2, but we've maxed out at 10 as a high point of teams in the NCAA tournament. I think there's value, at least initially, in letting the 12 with a single first day,
Right.
double elimination days, and then a single elimination championship weekend reign supreme.
You talk about staying away from Friday nights out of respect for the high school game. It doesn't seem like the NFL cares about the college game. I mean, it seems like, and I'm a big NFL guy, but they're coming to Black Friday too. Does that concern you at all? Do you have conversations with Roger Goodell?
I have not. I mean, Thursday was not an NFL day. It was an FCS 1AA day when you think back in the 80s. And you think about the game, right, at Auburn with the building that was on fire. Was that a Thursday night? Was that a Thursday?
I thought that was a Saturday night against LSU.
I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah.
It was a night.
But
game,
when I moved to Louisiana in the late 80s, those were all FCS or 1AA games at the time on Thursday. And now the NFL has that space and people's attitudes have changed. So, yeah, it is a concern. But no, I haven't been in conversation over that one day. We've got a need to place playoff games at a time when the NFL schedule's expanded. So one of the challenges with the CFP playoff is, where do you place games, particularly given the NFL migrates on to Saturdays, 2 weeks after our championship games play.
As far as locations on campus.
Thank you.
What?
Is that a congratulatory note for the?
Well,
No, but we were talking, it was at Peter Burns. It said, even if you've got a bye, you should still be able to host that home game.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. I don't know if that's being considered.
Plenty of opinions.
I know.
Somebody has to make decisions.
I know. You were asking questions though, so go ahead. Did you?
Well, to actually onboard the CFP early, you have to honor bowl agreements.
Well, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to be playing those second round or quarterfinal games and bowl games to fulfill those relationships.
Does somebody not like Florida in the scheduling department?
Well, that's you can look at the strength of schedule. Again, it's very narrow, and there's actually a pretty narrow bandwidth, so it doesn't have to anything to do with like or dislike.
Tough schedule.
You tell me any
Well,
voicemail.
Well, look at the schedule and tell me who doesn't have a tough schedule.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
Nick Saban would tell you Alabama does. He was vocal about the 3 supposed permanent opponents they were getting.
Any voicemail ever sound like Lance's at the SEC office?
I don't know the number.
You know,
though.
I don't have really much interaction with my office phone voicemail because the people who need to get me,
Yeah.
they
Man, not today.
You got it on airplane mode right now.
I did not actually.
Oh no. I took that as one of the greatest compliments you could give us, that you came up here and put your phone on airplane mode.
In fact, we were working on a T-shirt that says airplane mode.
Airplane mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was going to be on high quality cotton. We were going to send it to you.
The last person that
if
went
I
missing like this, it took them 2 days to get back.
If I had not done this, you guys would be like Coleman now on your way home.
No.
That's teleportation. I've got a theory on teleportation that when it begins, it will be like, do you remember back when you used to have cell phone minutes?
Mhm.
Like only 35 minutes. Teleportation, when it begins, you'll only have so many miles per year. So you're going to have to make critical decisions early in the year. I don't want to make this drive, but I'm willing to burn up all my teleportation miles now.
Well, you're accepting, like, and I wasn't a big fan of this, but the Star Trek teleportation model versus the Mike TV and Willy Wonka teleportation model, and you need to be careful about that.
That's
because
true.
it's
Those
not a
two very
track
different
record.
experiences.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Or the fly.
Yeah.
That's a good one too. That's
Yeah.
creepier. I was trying to keep it at a friendly.
Well, I was so glad when Mike TV got sucked up. Was he the one that got sucked up at the tube, or was that?
No, that was Augustus Gloop.
Augustus
wasn't it?
Gloop.
Yeah.
Mike TV's the one who teleported, right? They
Yep.
watched him and
Oh,
he came
yeah.
back and he was really small.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not dark.
He
The
was
fly is, but that's not.
It was all him.
He was a
He
joy
a
kid.
fly head.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze sounded today like he was going to teleport through every USA Network commercial. He thought the commercial breaks were too long on golf this morning.
Yeah.
He was tweeting that out. I'm excited about the future TV partners that we have coming on board in the future.
There's only one.
Well, you know who I'm talking about, though.
Oh.
ESPN, ABC.
Yeah.
Are we still going to keep that a certain window every week?
Yeah, 3:30 Eastern.
3:30 Eastern. That's going to be the number one selection by
Not
the partner?
necessarily.
Okay.
So we've got some prime time. One of the keys to this new deal, there are several keys. One is, Disney has broadcast with ABC, cable and satellite, and a digital delivery platform. And if you go back 5 years ago, people would say it's going to go digital. My view was you need all three. So we have all three. Really, the only way for us to have more broadcast TV, where there are over 130 million households, was on ABC. And you could have, and we've talked to ABC or ESPN, everybody about this, a noon, 3:30, and a primetime SEC game, which would be pretty cool, all broadcast TV. We've never experienced that. It's been one broadcast TV game a week. You've got a diminishing cable universe. We're also going to be here next year with the ability to share half or a little more than half of our kickoff times for the year.
Oh, you'll have
Oh,
half
wow.
up front.
Yeah, and you'll know all of the noon Eastern kickoff times at this time of year.
Oh, really?
So you can plan, if you're a fan, rather than having
Yeah.
a 6-day notice or a 12-day notice, you can say, you know what, my team plays early in November. I can plan now to take, the afternoon off on Friday, drive down, enjoy my alma mater or the team I love's community, and be a part of the game earlier. So there's some of the excitement for us is we've been able to make some adjustments that speak directly to accommodating our fans' attendance at games.
So there is very little we have to do, but they're telling Rockstar is saying we have to end at 4:57. So
You're running out of bandwidth.
we have run out of bandwidth.
Okay.
Do you want to argue with Rockstar about that, or are you good to go back downstairs?
I'm good. I got. a couple
I can
phone
put you on
calls.
hold with the
All
SEC
good stuff's
office.
landing.
Hey, there's a couch
What?
right around the corner.
Right-
Nobody's over there.
Rockstar, what do you want to tell him?
I said I can put you on hold to the SEC office if you want me to get you in.
It's never funny. It's never funny then. It's not funny now. We take it all in good humor.
It's fantastic. Maybe he'll have something for you later this year when Dr. Lou comes back. Thank you for your time. Always thank you for accepting us when we're on radio and doing this. We know you don't have favorite shows or anything like that, but we always appreciate you guys.
Oh,
It
he's-
was my favorite show when the hover helmet was here because I couldn't stop looking at it.
We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
I could have had somebody come over and just spin the vodka bottle around back and forth.